I do a chant and the pain. So that's what I do. Good morning.
Let's get this stuff.
One of the voice and condition of experience.
So warm in here.
Good morning, friends on the stream. Good morning, Jamie. Nice to see you. You have like all kinds of rainbows all over you.
That's so cool.
It really is. Purna Brahma Svarupanyaya Namaha. Om Satchitananda Murtaye Namaha. Om Atma Rama Bhavanaya Namaha. Om Yoga Vintaratmane Namaha. Om Antarmukha Swahaya Namaha. Om Purya Tundra Shadi Juse Namaha. Om Prabha Mandala Gita Namaha. Om Dura Sada Mahajase Namaha. Om Kapka Digvastu Kayadi Sarva Vechera Rasaye Namaha. Om Sajatiya Vijatiya Sriya Veda Niratre Namaha. Om Vani Bhuti Virdayaya Namaha. Om Saraswat Svata Vartmane Namaha. Om Nama Rupadi Sunyayaya Namaha. Om Gananadha Ganabadhum Priyanadha Priyabadhum Namahe. Nidhinadha Nidhinadhum Namahe. Vaso Manaham Jami Bhagavatam Jasi Om Anjaneya Yadne Mahabalaya Dheehi Tanno Hanuman Prachodayat. Om Anjaneya Yadne Mahabalaya Dheehi Tanno Hanuman Prachodayat. Om Anjaneya Yadne Mahabalaya Dheehi Tanno Hanuman Prachodayat. Om Dasharathaya Yadne Sita Balabhaya Dheehi Tanno Shri Ram Prachodayat. Om Dasharathaya Yadne Sita Balabhaya Dheehi Tanno Shri Ram Prachodayat. Om Dasharathaya Yadne Sita Balabhaya Dheehi Tanno Shri Ram Prachodayat. Om Dasharathaya Yadne Mahabalaya Dheehi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Om Dasharathaya Yadne Mahabalaya Dheehi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Om Dasharathaya Yadne Mahabalaya Dheehi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Om Shivadakshara Sushumna Tattujeva Shivam Pramasheva Adiyajyam Swaha. Om Yam Niva Sharira Shushaya Shushaya Swaha. Om Ram Supocha Sharirandara Swaha. Om Pramasheva Sushumna Tattujeva Shivatamo Sarasa Dvala 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 Saham Swaha. Om Ahasur Vajradeke Hupa Swaha. Om Hrim Har Har Shaktaye Kamalasunnaya Namaha. Om Hrim Vritikaya Namaha. Om Purve Rakshita Govindra Abhinandariga Vijaya Yamyam Rakshita Bharata Masi Masti Nayurike Varyankesh Gorakshit Mayadhyamadi Sudanaha Lukreshi Gorakshit Shami Kudaradhara Vekata Bhata Navasas Tachat Trivikramaha Ramdas Kishorakshit Vasudeva Janardana Om Kriti Twayatadalaka Devi Pandishtunataka Vantadari Mandevi Pavitra Purichasana Om Kriti Twayatadalaka Devi Pandishtunataka Vantadari Mandevi Pavitra Purichasana Om Shanti 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 Sarva Krishna Shushantir Bhavatu. Good morning. Thanks for being here. And so, for those who are new, I always have just a little conversation about kind of our topic today, which I usually, post. And I wanted to sit a little closer to the stream here. Hi, friends, and thanks for being here. I dressed up like a party. That's what I am right now. So I have my skull, the obligatory skull for Halloween and different accoutrements and it's a Kali thing and a Shiva thing, so like in yoga, there's a lot of human skulls, and it represents really, if you will, the release of the ego, And in this season, this season of Halloween, or like in the other traditions, the Day of the Dead, there's this honoring of the dead, and for the yogi, it's again a release of our kind of identity of ego, self, and all the kind of teachings pivot around that. Ultimately, to refine the capacity of how we perceive the world, from the world to the, if you will, the spirit world. And today's class is Prana. Good morning, Sam and Stephanie. The Prana, the life force, and we all know that. But the reality of it is in this age that we're in, my teacher Babaji talked about the essential nature of prana or pranayama as a mechanism for a vehicle of, transformation. And the fact that we can't have enough of it, if you will, because the energetic structure of this time is such that we're not naturally, consciously illuminating. We need more. And so, and what happens when we do, say, pranayama or different things, it becomes pure. And when that prana becomes pure, then it's almost like the volume of it internally in our subtle body can be felt. And then when we add invariably sound, to support its purification, then that inner vibrational quality becomes more powerful. And it's that gateway that then opens the capacity to perceive subtly. So just so we know, what this is about. And so one of the things that we'll work on in our practice today is this thing called tree putti. Tree putti is it's just one word, but it's a really big principle. Tree in any language means three. And tree in this sense is triputi, is the merging of the breath and the body and then the mind. And that may sound like, well, yeah, I mean, we do that all the time. We talk about it all the time. But this is actually a way, or not necessarily a way, but it's perfection would be the best way to put it, is its perfection. And what we'll kind of work towards is entirely unifying the end of movement of the body with the end of our breathing. And you'll find what happens is when we do that, there's a natural concentration of mind that comes into the practice. And so that's the third leg. So breath, body, mind. And ultimately, when like Babaji taught us advanced yoga asana, and it wasn't necessarily, say, complicated. It wasn't exotic forms with the body, but it was actually an exotic experience with the breath and the body, where we would slow the movement down so much that you would stop breathing. There was one film of him doing a sun salutation, and it was just like, it was literally this slow. And you can just feel the sensation of concentration that's necessary, and the sensation of presence when we do that. And then, so he gave us all these other things to do with that too, and that is to hold the breath in our postures in different ways. And so we'll experiment with that today too, as we'll do some breath holding and postures. And it's very significant practice. Can be very, very challenging, honestly, too, because we hold the breath in, and more we'll hold the breath out of the body. And you'll find that then there's an inner alchemy that's happening inside, and you may feel the physical effects of it, but you'll definitely feel the subtle body effects of it. So then what happens is first, you won't die, no matter what happens. This won't be you. You will continue to live. But what will happen is, because of that assimilation of prana, the mind becomes slower. And then its identifications, then I won't say they don't cease to exist, but maybe for a little while, they'll change a little bit. So that's all for Chime Chat. Thanks for putting up with me as usual. And so let's all just come to a comfortable seat, primarily me. And from the seated position, let's first bring, and all this may be elementary to you, but I really like being a beginner. And so place your right hand on the belly here. And then as you inhale, expand the belly out into the hand. And then as you exhale, the belly to the spine. So diaphragmatic breath, the belly breath. And just get the sense of the wave-like motion. I literally have spent 18 years doing breathing practices every day. And it really is amazing what can happen. One of the things that we notice sometimes is that the breath may not be fully consistent in relationship to time and volume. Time and volume. And if that's a little obscure in your kind of thinking, it's understandable. Just try and smooth out the pattern of the breath, both inhaling and exhaling here. Completely smooth. And then slow the breath down, maybe by a third or a half or something. You figure that out. And then just notice when you slowed it down that your mind increased its concentration. Breathing with conscious awareness is the primary mechanism of acquiring prana in our practice. Many years ago, one night I was sleeping and I was dreaming awake. So sleeping but dreaming awake, and I was doing deep breathing in my dream, and then I began to realize that I wasn't breathing any air at all. I was just breathing prana. And it wasn't a dream. And so gently release that, and then so we can open the eyes. Bring now the hands to the ribs. The thumbs wrap behind you, and as you inhale, breathe into the mid-region of the lungs and just feel the breath expand front, back, and side body. So just imagine that the torso is like a balloon and you're filling it from all aspects. And again, we're breathing slowly with awareness both on the inhale and the exhale. To me, it's just intoxicating. And gently release the hands here. So now track the right hand back to the low belly and the left hand to the upper chest. Then initiate the inhale by expanding the belly. And then continue to breathe, expand the ribs. And then fill the lungs rather completely all the way into the upper chest. Pause. And then gently begin to exhale by relaxing the upper torso, the ribs, and then lightly pulling the belly button to the spine as you complete the exhale. And just continue, of course, practice. Another mystery of Baba Haridas is they didn't eat any food for 15 years, and he had literally a glass of milk a day. And of course, he was very small. But his body was able to function off of pure life force energy, prana. He was pure prana. And then gently gently let the hands then just float to the knees or thighs, but just continue to breathe in this way. Continue to feel as if you're drinking air and drinking prana, fully nourishing the body. He also was silent, for 60 years, and the purpose of that is to retain the prana and the being, if you will. There's always an exchange of energy and all the patterns in our life, our thoughts. When we develop an energetic body, we can direct that life force energy into, say, what we may need in our life, and also the illumination for our spiritual practice, sadhanas. And so for this morning's sankalpa, this morning's intention, we find this placement of the intention in some way fulfilling something energetically in your life. And it could be simply something, terrestrial, made of the earth, or it could be made of the spirit. Choose. I'm going to chant the sankalpa mantra, so it's affecting kind of this communication, this communion with the gods. Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Hayom Tatsaya Tasya Sri Prana, Vidyaya Sri Sattva America, Colorado, Conde, Calibre, Calcutta, Charme, Om Shri Parameshwar, Prityatam, Tavasi, Manisha, Priti, Bhagam, Parashe. I sent Coach Powell and my friends at Yoga Studio on this 30th day of the 10th month, the year 2021. We invoke through our sankalpas, through our intention of the cosmic value of power, to support the fruition of this. And we perform this, if you will, this ritual, this ceremony to please the gods, the celestial beings, and humans. This ritual of breath. Thank you for that, everyone. Let's go ahead and just open the eyes, and we'll move from the seated position to tabletop. So just comfortably make your way to all fours here. And we'll just, kind of the usual, just opening the body here. Begin to just circle the hips, say in a clockwise fashion, to be really, dialed in, if you will. on the inhale as the heart floats forward, and then exhale as the heart floats back. So just really calibrate that. In timing, again, I'll just kind of come back to this again, timing, movement, and breath. So really kind of feel the body and the breath relationship in experience. And again, the best way that I can guide this, to put this, is to merge the endpoints of experience. So movement and breath endpoints. Right now, the pulmonary circuit is not in labor, if you will. It's not stressed. And so things can be slower and really purposeful and subtle, really perceptive, if you will, even. Yeah, switch directions or feel free to just explore different forms of movement here as the body is invited to free itself, if you will, from its tethers. And then coming into a neutral position, simply cat-cow. So inhale, look up, lengthen the front spine, the belly releases, sits bones flare. And exhale, rounding into the upper back, chin tucks, tailbone draws in, of course. And just continue that linear movement of the spine. Sometimes I find myself moving my hips forward and back, and that can be useful here. Hands really grounded. And then neutral tabletop, and just take a nice inhale here and slowly drift the hips back into, like, hips stay lifted here. So puppy pose, we do this kind of often. And just pause here for a breath, so for that earth, heart, maybe earth. And then inhale, float on up here, round into the upper back, then pivot the hips all the way towards the earth as the gaze goes to the horizon. That's all in one big inhale, and then exhale, lift the hips back and gently float the hips back. So find your own rhythm, your own pacing here. And then just begin to notice the relationship between breath and movement. And then notice how the mind is invited, to, again, say, concentrate. Hopefully is maybe the best way to put that. The preference here is for the yoga to create a very kind of peaceful inner climate. And then back to neutral here. So from this position, we'll stay for a moment. Extend the right leg behind you. Tuck the back toes under on the mat. And we'll just stretch in the bottom of the foot, calf, and Achilles. Just can feel good to kind of wake some of these, tender tissues up. And then float the right leg, hip height. Really send the leg back. So internally rotating that upper thigh so the hips square off. Keep lifting the leg. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, very slowly draw the knee into the chest, squeeze it in. And then inhale the leg back. And then do this 2 more times. Find your own pacing and breath. And then after that last one, just releasing the knee to the earth. And we'll switch. And so the left leg extends, toes tuck under. Just breathe here. When you're ready, floating now that left leg. And then 3 of these when you're ready. Just find your own movement, own breath. And release that down. And then we'll stand on all fours, but extend the right leg out. Let the toes float forward here. And then gently let the hips release back. And then come onto the forearms here. The pubic bone is dialing itself back. And rhythmic breathing. And just allow the mind to naturally concentrate or flow to the breath. And then gently inhale, come up to neutral, and then ground the left hand. Inhale gently, moving with the breath, float the right arm to the sky. And just breathe here. Give the wrist a little bit of a spin. Into that. And then a little bend of that right elbow and just squeeze the shoulder blade onto the back. Just feel that. And then inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, send the hand out really far. Land it on the fingertips and then bend the left elbow and sink the heart here. And just breathe. Stay with the breath. One might begin to recognize the pause in between both inhale and exhale and exhale and inhale. It will be important because we'll be utilizing that later in a really, one might say, profound way. And nice big inhale back to neutral here, so tabletop, and we'll switch. The left extends. Hips drift back. Inhale, breath. Exhale, slowly sink. Okay. And again, the pubic bone is just dialing itself back a little. Connecting to your breathing. Gently inhale, float up to neutral, right hand grounds, left gently floats up with the breath. Okay, a little spin of the wrist. And bending out the left elbow, squeeze it onto the back and breathe deeply and fluidly. Sometimes it seems like even in yoga, when lots of provocation are being rushed. I don't have to. Inhale, reach. And exhale, float the hand in front of you, moving and connecting with the breath, fingertips ground, elbow bends, heart sinks. Reach as far forward as you can. Breathe here. Inhale, breath. And exhale, float this hand back underneath the shoulders, a neutral tabletop. Very nice, right? And then we'll come into downward facing dog. Just gently take an inhale here. And exhale, slowly lift the hips back, let the heart sink, of course. Just walk your way into a little wiggling here, whatever might feel suitable for the body's experience, to feel like you're opening the fabric of the physical form. And continue to connect and relate to deep breathing. So breathing with conscious awareness will develop the prana climate inside Sukha Sarira. That is the subtle body. Again, relating to the transition point of the breath. And then take a nice big inhale here. And exhale, gently release to the knees, the hips to the heels here. So an extended child's pose, forehead earth. Breathe into the belly here, very specific breath. Just the belly breath here. And then gently, with a sweet, deep inhale, float the hips from the heels. Tuck the back toes under. And exhale, lift the hips gently back into down dog. So we begin to really try and synchronize further, right? Movement and breath. To further that, we'll inhale, floating into high plank, high push-up. And exhale, gently lift the hips back into down dog, and then continue that 2 more times. Movement and breath. In this practice, absolutely the turtle is the winner, will always be. So hips left and down dog. And then gently, we'll just move into a forward fold. So bending the knees, walking the feet to the hands here. A little space in between the feet, we know this. We'll stir the pad when that feels good. Let the weight pivot into the big toe mounds so the stretch is felt in the meat of the muscle, and maybe even traction in the spine. So grabbing opposite elbows here, a little stir of the head, yes, no. Breathe in. And then gently place the hands mid-shins. Inhale, slowly flat back. Pause here for a moment so we can synchronize our movement and breathing. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, slowly float down. And do this 2 more times on your own. What I find this practice does is help really allow my mind to listen. So gently bend the knees, send the left leg back. into a lunge here, and then we'll come all the way up into a crescent type form. Let's start with the hands down by the sides, the back heel's lifted, quad active. Really lift the back heel, engage the back leg quad, and you likely notice really opens up this now left hip flexor with the palms turn up. Then inhale, just float the arms up slowly with the breath. Exhale slowly, hands to prayer, to the heart. Inhale here at the heart. Exhale slowly, float the hands down by the side. 2 more times on your own. When you're ready to inhale here at the heart, exhale, just float the hands down. We'll plant and step back into high plank push-up. Yeah, take your time. Feel your own timing, your own breath here. And just breathe. So now the pulmonary circuit is under a little more pressure. And so the guidance here is to really try and focus on slowing the exhale down. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release to the knees. Float all the way to the belly. Ground hands, pelvis, and feet. Bhujangasana here. And no float torso. And exhale, float down. 2 more times on your own. Working with breath and movement. And after the second one, tuck the toes under. Inhale through high plank, high push-up slowly. Exhale back into down dog. And just breathe here. It's like when we lose our breath in yoga asana, which happens, it becomes anabolic. And from a yogi perspective, more than anything, in that environment, we're expending prana versus gaining it. And we'll bend the knees here and then step down the left foot to the left hand. And just take a moment when you're ready, float the torso, come on up. Back heels lifting, quad, active back leg, palms to the earth, and then 3 times again. Release the hands down and then back foot steps to the top of the mat. And just breathe here. Gently float the belly button to the spine and just kind of hold it in. And inhale, half lift, pausing, hands mid shins. Little bend the knees, and then inhale, sweep hands and arms to the sky, reach real tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale here at the heart. Exhale, float hands and arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Folding forward. And gently inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then we'll bend in the knees. Send now the right leg back. Up. And then gently, timing, movement, breath. Inhale, float up. Exhale, sink. Capture right wrist, left hand. Inhale, sweep to the left and straighten the back leg. And just breathe here. Lean back into it a little bit. Stay with the breath. And then, float to neutral. Exhale, release all the way down. And slant, step back, high plank, high push in. Push up, take an inhale here. Exhale to the knees, to the belly. Inhale, cobra, a little higher this time. And just pause. And just breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Inhale your breathing. Exhale slowly, float forehead down. Toes under. Gently inhale, high plank, high push up. And exhale slowly, hips back, down dog. Let's sit down with hands. Take a moment here. Really ground the hands nice and flat. Gentle bend in the knees and send now the right foot to the right hand, exhaling. Okay. And then from here, really slow. Inhale, both arms, reach up. Exhale, sink. Right hand captures left wrist. Inhale, sweep to the right. Engage the back leg quad. Breathe deeply. And when you're ready, inhale, float to neutral. And exhale, back foot steps, rolling forward. And take a moment here. Just breathe deep. Inhale, half lift, pause. Little bend in knees, and then cactus the arms, lift the elbows, flat back to standing, all in a big inhale. And just float the arms over the head. Put a little sway in the body. And just notice how you're feeling, like my temperature's up. Sweating even a little. Simple. Couple little poses. Really connected with breath. So inhale, reach real tall. Exhale, slowly float the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Then inhale, lengthen here. Bend the knees, exhale, hinge at the hips. Rolling forward, floating the hands over the head. And just breathe here. There's so much medicine, so much alchemy in slow, deep yogic breathing. Kind of releasing the sympathetic nervous system. And then nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the grip of the hands, float the arms down to the mat. Plant both hands and step back gently into high plank here. And reconnect to the breath. And then a big inhale. And slowly exhale to the knees, to the belly. And then from this position, first come up onto the forearms. So we're here, kind of experimenting with this lately. And then track the hands out, like a hand length further. And then lift the elbows. And just breathe here. Spread the toes. And kind of walk my hands in line with my shoulders a little bit. Do that for a moment. And then take the left hand into the center line of the body, ground it very firm, and then float the right arm. Just breathe here, stay with the breath. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, slowly float the arm down. And we'll switch. So ground the right hand firm, engage it, and float the left arm. And just breathe, stay with the breath. And take a nice big inhale. And exhale, slowly float the left arm down. Pause here for a moment. And then from this position, isometrically, pull the hands towards the body. So you're not pushing away, you're pulling in. And breathe deep. Inhale, breath. Exhale, slowly release the torso down. The hands can float under the armpits here. And then inhale into tabletop. And exhale, extended child's pose, slowly float the hips back. Breathe into the belly. It feels the medicine goes deeper. Take our time. Breathe deeper. And then inhale into tabletop. And exhale, when you're ready, down dog. And very gently, inhale, float the right leg behind you. And then exhale slowly, the right foot to the right hand. And warrior one, so ground the back foot. But this time, we're going to hold the breath in, so release the hands, but then very slowly, inhale, float the hands and arms over the head. And hold the breath in. Exhale, float the hands to the side. Take a catch breath here, so inhale. Exhale. Then inhale, slowly float the arms over the head, hold the breath. Exhale, float the hands down slowly. Catch breath, inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale, float arms, hold the breath in. And gently exhale, float all the way down. Let the hands step back into high plank. Then take a nice big inhale here in high plank. Find your breath. Exhale to the knees. Float all the way to the belly. And then inhale, pivot into upward facing dog here. Pause. And take a nice big inhale when you're ready. And exhale, down dog. Moment. And then inhale the left leg behind you. Exhale, left foot, left hand. Ground the right heel, release the hands, and then gently inhale, float the arms, hold the breath in. And exhale, float the hands down. I guess we went to the heart, didn't we? So let's join here at the heart, so inhale. Exhale, the hands all the way down, palms naturally turn open, inhale, reach, 2 more times. On your own. Exhale into the heart. And exhale, just float all the way down. Right hand, step back, high plank, high push-up here. Inhale, breath. Then exhale, release the hips gently down, and then just float into upward facing dog here. Pause. And when you're ready, a big inhale and exhale, lifting the hips back into down dog. Nice. Breathe deeply. Ooh. And then put a little bend in the knees and just simply step the feet to the top of the mat here. Pausing. And then inhale, half lift, hands and shins, pause. Exhale, breath. And then put a little bend in the knees, and then inhale, cactus arms, float to standing. Reach. A little sway in the body. And then gently release the hands down by the sides here, and then step the left leg back about 3/4 of a stride. See what's happening. And hands to the waist. Leg straight. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, hinge, folding forward the hips, ground, the back foot, ground, the front foot just halfway down here. And then inhale, breath. And exhale, continue to descend in the pose. The hands can release to the shin floor block, whatever is suitable for you. Pause there and just breathe deeply, fluidly. Stay with the breath. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. A little bend in that front knee, and then inhale, flat back to standing. Slowly we go. And we'll switch this out. So step the back foot forward, and the front foot back. Take a minute. Let the hips square on. Ground back to the quad. Foot grounds. Torso is lengthening. Hands to the waist, elbows track towards one another. Inhale, breath. And exhale, hinge. Always put a little micro bend in that front leg knee, halfway down. Pause there, and then inhale gets the pause, so inhale here. And exhale, continue your descent in the pose. And again, hands can release. Stay with your breath. Keep tracking the outside of that left hip back. Stay connected to your breathing. Pranic vehicle of the breath. And then inhale, gently half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. Little bend in that front leg knee. Keep the core active. Inhale, flat back to standing. Oh, and then step the back foot to the front of that, and we'll switch this out. So left leg goes back. Now we'll hold the breath out when we do this posture. And so it kind of looks like this. We'll inhale. I'm just going to do a quick little demo. Then exhale. Holding the breath out. And then inhaling. And we'll do a catch breath. So, Hands to the waist when you're ready. Inhale your breathing. Slowly exhale, folding forward. Holding the breath out. And inhaling, rise. Exhale, catch breath. Just do one more of these. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Hold the breath out. Inhale, float up. Exhale. And then inhale, stick the back foot to the top of the mat. Exhale, switch it out. So right leg comes back. Hands to your waist. Inhale. Exhale, hinge. Holding the breath out. Inhaling. Exhale, catch breath. Inhale, breath. Practice a putti. Exhale. Breath out. Inhale, rise. Exhale the breath. And inhale, back foot steps. Exhale, pause, hands to the waist. Here, to the sides rather. And inhale your breathing and hold the breath in and just wait on it. So inhale, hold the breath. A little bend in the knees. And exhale. Just gently open the feet here. Let's come into squatting, Asana. Just a prayer. And a little twist here. So extend the right hand out and then ground it, and then upper arm connects to shin. A little bend, and then inhale, float left arm. Just breathe. And gently inhale. And exhale, float the hands back together. And one fluid movement. Inhale, open the arms, switching. And just breathe. And a big inhale here. And exhale, hands to prayer. deeply with conscious awareness. Inhale breath. Exhale, gently release the hands down and behind you and the hips to the earth. Okay. Take a moment here. Stay with the breath. Sometimes this practice may seem painfully slow, but it's just, again, that karma, the samskara of even your yoga asana practice that puts us into this mechanism where we just want to move at a certain pace. And let's just gently open the eyes here. We'll extend the left leg out and put a little bend, and you might even open the calf a little bit of that right leg as you sweep the foot back to the hip. Sometimes putting the pelvis on a blanket can be supportive here. And so we're not necessarily sitting on the foot, it's up to the side. Yeah, that feels better. And then from this position, we'll just first take the hands to the shin bone and lengthen up. And then just a little bit forward, let's spread the toes of the left foot here. Breathe. Keep the shoulder blades kind of tracking down the back and literally pull the leg into the hip. So put some energy to ground it in, and that will allow the body to move from the base of the spine through its length and discover really significant stretch in the meat of the hamstring. The body likely will begin to release, right? And so allow whatever space that emerges to expand into the depth of the stretch. Just stay with the breath. And then at some point, take a nice big inhale. And exhale, keep lengthening, but then you can round into it. The head can release, the ribs can be draped to the thigh. Stay with the breath. And then belly button to the spine. Gently inhale, walk the hands up the leg here. And then the hands go behind you. I'm not going to be able to go too far down, but allow the stretch to come into the quad. So maybe come onto the elbows here, or if it's accessible, you can drape the body all the way to the earth. And just breathe. And then gently, kind of grounding the elbows again. Float back out of this configuration, but we're not quite done. So come back up. And gently bend now this left knee. And then capture the foot from underneath, find your balance. And then gently with an inhale, straighten this left leg. Stay with the breath. And if you'd like, you can take the right hand to the knife edge of the left leg and then just open up to the left. Stay with the breath. And then gently release the hand from the foot. Keep the leg lifted and slowly put the leg down. And we'll just switch this out. So lean over to that left hip, extend that right leg. And then switching. So get comfy and then capture the shin and then let your action be extending upward. Spread the toes of the right foot. Stay with your breath here. Continuing to breathe with conscious awareness. Inhale your breathing. And exhale. Stay with the breath. Toes stay spread of that right foot, energizing the quadricep. Allow the mind to stay in dharana, in concentration. And belly button to the spine. And gently inhale, walk the hand up the leg. And then again behind you. And just slowly descend the body deeper into the form, allowing for that quadricep to lengthen in whatever is most suitable for your body. And then gently begin to walk your way back out of it here. And then bending, now this right knee once again, capturing below the foot. And then with an inhale, straighten the leg. And with the leg straightened, kind of sit up a little taller. So lengthen the spine, and spread the toes of that right foot. We'll maybe even draw the leg a little closer towards you. To feel even more grounded in this pose, you can spread the toes of the left foot. And when you're ready, left hand, knife edge, right foot, and then just open up to the right. Just breathe here. Stay with the breath. And then gently, hand releases from foot, leg slowly, foot stand. And then lean over to this right side. Extend the left leg. Dandasana staff pose. So we're here just for a moment. And then slowly move both the arms up. Exhale, hinge just halfway down. And then foot back up. Slowly exhale, hinge halfway. And then float back up slowly. And exhale halfway down. Pause here. Release the hands to the shins. Once again, capture them. And then re-inhale, lengthening. Toes stay spread energetically. Let the body begin to migrate deeper into the form, making adjustments with your hands and things. Just kind of pipe forward. Inhale, breath. exhale. That wasn't an inhale, by the way. Just one. And belly to the spine here. And ready. Inhale just gently. With the hands. With the legs. And just a little bend in the knees here. And ask that you spin around 180 degrees so your heads are at the top of the mat here. Sarah, do you hold that? There you go. So come off your back. Full body stretch, and so just lengthen the arms over the head here. And then gently hug the knees into the chest. We'll rock side to side here. And release the feet to the earth, the knees stay back. Kind of a supported bridge, so grab your block here, place it underneath the sacrum, You choose the height. If you know that you have a little bigger back bend, absolutely use the tallest part of the block, and then turn the palms to the sky as you kind of squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chin so the natural curve of the neck is sustained. Just take a moment here. This is already feeling good. And then very gently begin to walk out the feet and legs long, draping the body over the block here. And let the feet roll open, but I'll really do a little extra reach of the legs long here, so find that space if you want. Breathe very deeply and slowly. And as a little experiment, you might even muscularly track the belly button towards the spine. The invitation here is to breathe the exhale to its very end point. So go to the very, very, very bottom of the exhale. And when you're ready, a little gentle bend of the knees, drag the feet flat to the earth. We'll stay on the block, kind of familiar territory for everyone. Realize Viparita Kani Mudra, so we straighten the legs to the sky here.
And typically the body comes into a V shape. I find personally when I flush the face of the block to the sacrum, moving the bottom edge of the block like I just then onto an edge, it's just nicer. And the body can sustain that V shape or stay in a flat block, whatever's most suitable. Eyes gently can close here. And just continue to deep rhythmic breathing. Slowing the exhale down. Gently when you're ready, you will bend the knees, you will Tendra Kriyaga. When ready, feet no ground, hips release from the block. Block is removed, and the hips slowly release to the earth here. Take a moment. Then we'll do our little pre-Shavasana breath retentions with a little bit of a twist here. We'll do 2 where we pooch out the belly. So extend the legs, the feet roll open, palms turn up here. And then stay with me, exhale the breath completely. Then take a full big inhale. Rhythmic inhale. Hold the breath in. Pooch out the belly. And silently exhale the breath. Very bottom. We'll do one more, so exhale out the breath. Full rhythmic inhale. One breath in. Pooch out the belly. And silent exhale. And inhales into the belly. Make little adjustments for comfort. We'll drift straight into Shavasana from here.
notice the quality of mind. And then notice stillness or peace. And kind of stay connected to that energy of the void. And gently let the belly rise and fall with the breath. But notice that the movement of the breath is its own self. And the peace is its own self. They have a distinction. And one can perceive both simultaneously. So the key. So then the understanding is that peace and stillness is not conditioned upon anything. It's still there even in movement. And just gently let the breath then become a little deeper and longer. Still fluid though. And then gently begin to add a little bit of movement to the feet or hands when that's suitable for you. And a little stretch at some point. We'll end up on our left side here. So come to the left whenever that's in your rhythm. Your little hug of the knees. And gently make your way to a seated position. Come on up. And come into the asana, if you will. So, that word means to sit or seat. For meditation, the practice will be a little shorter here. We've used a good amount of our time, surprisingly. Or not. The first exploration here is to just condition deep yogic breathing with kumbhak. In kumbhak, the word means to suspend. And so at the very top of the inhalation, suspend the breath. And it's different than a breath holding, if you may. You may experience when you get to the top of the breath a component where the breath feels like it's in its full capacity, and then you can just filter, say, the last remnants of air into the lungs, and that's where the kumbhak appears for just a couple of counts is all we need, and then releasing the breath. And the kumbhak, and also the very bottom of the exhale, where you go to what feels like the bottom, then you continue to release a few molecules of air for just a couple counts. And then the inhale begins when the belly then reinflates, expanding. So full yogic breath with kumbhak. and invite it to be just wildly slow. Kind of get to this place where almost counting the last little molecules of breath in or out. And then after your next exhalation, we'll complete this practice, releasing the breath from modification. Let the breath then return to a very shallow belly breath. And then relax the belly breath. And just breathe as if the body is breathing the breath. And begin to notice that there's the awareness of breathing. And this, if you will, like this non-being that's standing in peace behind all things. And connecting to that sense of peace. As the dharana, as the object of your concentration. And when that peace is unbroken in your mind, where the mind literally is just streaming to peace without other influence, it becomes jnana. It becomes meditation. And deep within, the mantra of Om is in attunement. As the mind draws back to the world, let the first movement be an expanded belly breath, very subtle. Very nourishing. We'll complete our sadhana with the chanting of 3 Oms here together. As So gently release the breath into as we inhale. And again, another big inhale. Bringing hands to prayer here, just sharing a sense of gratitude for the teachings of yoga and to our community, to your intentions. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, so much. And then to say bye to those who are still on the stream, thank you very much. And love, peace, friends. Be well.